Okay, Tony, we are back in action. So, we're going to make a big leap in how we're modeling from how I've shown you so far. We've got a good enough foundation of some of the figure here that I'm going to not use the sketch so primarily in the way I've been using it with the front and side views, and I'm kind of just going to go in and wing it a bit. And to do that, I'm only going to work in the ortho or in the user perspective view up here, and I'm going to make all the other views go away. So the way we're going to do that is to go to view down here, click on that and scroll up towards the top, and you'll see where it says toggle quad view, and this will turn the 4 view off and just give you 1 view, and you can just toggle that back and forth. So now we've got 1 view. Now I want to get rid of this toolbar over here because it's kind of eating up some screen real estate, so just hit T to toggle that off. We can hit T just to bring it back. So again, a lot of the commands in Blender are toggles, which is really sweet. Saves on how many commands you have to remember. And then this is your navigation panel. I want that to go away as well, so I'm going to hit N. And now we're seeing a lot of his body here. Good deal. And I am thinking there's even one more step to reclaim more screen real estate, and I think I'm going to take that. So I hopefully won't lose you. So I apologize in advance if things get a little confusing here. So now I'm going down to view again, and we have an option right here. It says toggle maximize area. Toggle maximize area. What that's going to do is that's going to hide the rest of the toolbars basically. So I'm going to click that. Good. Now all we really have is just the model itself, and you can bring back those tools just by going to toggle again. So I'm going to go back to maximize. All right, now in this view is where you're really going to be comfortable navigating the view with just your mouse. So you're going to do the left, right to rotate. You're going to swipe up, down to look at the top, bottom. You're going to have to use the shift and the mouse to pan the camera from left to right or up or down, and then use the control and the mouse to zoom in and out. Be careful not to get too overly eager and zoom in too far. It's easy to get confused and disoriented. All right, so what we are looking at here, got that big bubble butt action going on. Got his arm here on the left. We got his arm here on the right. Before I jump into trying to make this lower arm here that's going to come into his wrist and hand that's going to be placed on his hip, I want to kind of fix some of the issues going on already up here in his shoulder area so that we don't end up with the issues we ended up with here. I kind of made it a little too difficult to fix some of this stuff just because I didn't correct some of those issues right away. And at the same time, I'm going to work on creating kind of a shoulder deformation here where his shoulder would be thrown back a little bit to get his arm in the position as it is, and the same here. So there'd be kind of a little bubble here with an indentation towards his back. So kind of gonna zip through all that stuff a little fast. I'll do my best to tell you what I'm doing as I go, but some of this stuff I'll just choose to do it when I get there. And having said that, I think one of the first things I'll do is I think I want to work on how we're doing that butt there. Not sure how you're seeing it from this view from the back, but I'm uncomfortable with basically these kind of 2 points on his butt where it makes the whole thing feel kind of blockish. Maybe that's just the camera. I mean the lights, I'm not sure. Well, maybe that is just the lights. Maybe it's okay. Yeah, I'll leave that for now. Okay, we're good there. All right, hit Tab to go into the model view again, the edit view. And now I think what I'll do is we're going to do a subdivide right up the center of this guy, which we're going to have to get to eventually, but that will let us do some asymmetric work on the shoulders so that we can do them independently, and then we can independently work on the kind of cloth creases you had in here and stuff. And it will also help when we get down to doing the tentacles. So in Edge Select, I'm going to do a different type of selection. I'm going to see what they call that, and I apologize. So, the edge ring. So before I showed you how to do an edge loop, which is you right-click an edge, but first you hold down the Option key, and it grabs you the ring all the way around, and you can do that. Oh, interesting, the end ones do not read as edge rings. That's interesting. I never noticed that before. Okay. But what we want to do is what they're calling, oh, those were edge loops. God, I apologize. Edge loops is what I just showed you. We want to do edge rings next. So if we hold down the Alt key and the Control key and then click on an edge, it selects the edge ring, which is all the edges all the way around from front to back. And then I want to do the subdivide. So I had you hide the toolbar earlier, but remember it's just a T stroke away. So hit T, bring that back. We hit subdivide, and now it's subdividing just that down the center. And I'm just looking at it right now to decide if I want to only make one subdivision or if I want to make two. And the deciding factor here is kind of how I want to handle the shoulders right now. I think I'm going to leave it like that for now. We may come back later and add more subdivisions, but I think this will work. All right. Okay. I'm going to hit A to deselect all that. I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to come down to the tools here and do the vertex select. And I'm just going to pick this top left vertex for his shoulder. And I'm going to kind of get a side view of him, and then I'm going to do G and drag this up and out a bit, about like that. And then do A to get rid of that, tab to go to the object view, and I just want to look at what we got there. So we're getting a little bit of that, you know, throwing his shoulder back action here. But then it's flattening out here in a way I don't like. So now we're going to have to adjust another vertex to kind of add more volume there. So hit tab, and that is this vertex right here. It's going to be difficult. Not let me select it. But this was the one we just edited, so if we ran down that edge to that vertex, this is the vertex we want. So I'm going to switch to this view that shows us all the edges so that I can then come back and click that one, and then I'm going to exit out of that view. And then I'm going to rotate everything so we're kind of at the side here. Hit the G key, and then I'm going to bring this down like so. So we're starting to add some volume to that shoulder. And I kind of like how that's happening. I'm going to refer quickly to that sketch you showed me. And that's okay. It's not, yeah, I like that. We're going to have to make some further edits here, but I like what we're seeing there. Okay. And then I want to come in and I want to have this chest, where his shoulder meets his chest, I want to bring that back, and where his elbow joint begins. I want to bring that back as well. So I'm going to individually select the 4 vertices that make that up. Hopefully you can see what I've done there. It basically has selected what's the equivalent of a face, but I'm just doing it as vertices right now so that I can stay in vertex mode, because in a minute I'm going to only want to move a couple of these at a time. So right now I'm going to pull that back like so. And I do want to do A to get rid of the rest, and then I just want to choose these 2, get G, drag them back some more, like right there, hit A to deselect, tab, look at the object view, and looking interesting. Okay, I'm going to pause there, I'm going to save, and then save this movie as well, and I'll be back in a minute.